The mind can make a heaven out of hell or a hell out of heaven, depending on how you look at it. Getting some kayaking in here. No wind today, no rain lately, so it's all paddling. So a good workout. Anxieties run rampant. Anxiety, stress, overwhelm. The mind's a difficult place to be if we don't know how to navigate it. I want to record this video real quick for you guys. I don't mean to traumatize anybody with some chest hair here, but trying to get some sun, some vitamin D in. I don't consider myself an expert in many areas, but there are a couple areas that I do have an extreme interest in. One of those is the mind. Having coached for the past 10 years, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, hey guys, I'm Sam Nott. I help athletes on the mental side of their sport, the inner game, so they can master the outer game. But how do you deal with anxiety? How do you deal with stress? How do you deal with overwhelm? How do you deal with being stuck in the mind? A simple analogy is this. The mind is like a knife. The mind only divides. The mind breaks things up. The mind is useful for a lot of great things that we have in life, like science, experiments, analyzing things. But essentially, the mind is a knife, meaning it can only cut, it can only divide, it can only break things down. Yeah, you can use your mind, your imagination to create things with your imagination, right? You can visualize things, but you're cutting the world into pieces and saying it is this way or that way, or I perceive it this way, or I perceive it that way. When we fail to realize that there are other intelligences that we oftentimes fail to tap into. Think about this. When you woke up this morning, you ate your breakfast or you drank your coffee, you didn't have to tell your mind to turn that into energy, or to turn that glucose into energy, or to turn that protein to help you repair your muscles. You had this bodily intelligence. We've got to realize that to simply break things down, we have three main areas that make us whole: the mind, the heart, the emotional side of things, and the body. Too often when we get stuck in overthinking, look at this, I'm barely moving here. That really tells you there's no water flow. So, and I actually hear some rapids coming up, so I got to finish up this video. We've got to essentially tap into each of those three areas. When you find yourself overthinking, or if you look back and reflect and believe that you are an overthinker or a highly anxious person, realize that it's important to tap into the mind, but it's more important to tap into the mind, the body, and the heart. And the challenge is finding balance in the three. And it's not balanced time, it's not balanced energy, it's not balanced resources in all three areas. It's finding balance within yourself. Balancing the emotional side. What tends to happen, especially overthinkers, I consider myself an expert at overthinking because I've been so bad at it. If you find yourself oftentimes in your mind, and it's very easy to do these days, getting stuck on social media, getting stuck on the internet, getting stuck overthinking about, things that happened during the day, during the past week, during the past month. If you find yourself overthinking, you've got to realize that you've got to tap into the emotional side of things. You've got to tap into the body side of things and start to find balance. And I don't mean this on any sort of spiritual level. I mean this on a basic understanding of human psychology, right? We are not just our minds. We are not just our thoughts. We are not just our memories. We are not just our imagination. All the mind does is cut things apart, break it down into pieces. And if you want to use the analogy of the knife, when you're suffering, when we are suffering, when I am suffering, when you are suffering, it's only because we're cutting ourselves. Some ducks flying there. I don't know if you could see them. So if we could just stop cutting ourselves, if we could just stop using this knife to hurt ourselves and damage ourselves, and tap into the heart, tap into the body, try to find balance within the three, we're going to find that all areas of our life, we're going to be much happier, we're going to be much healthier, we're going to be much better off, we're going to be much better able to make decisions, we're going to be much better able to serve others, to be better for our family, for our loved ones, for our friends. But it's about balance. And I'm not talking about work-life balance. I'm talking about balance in your basic human psychology. So I don't know if you can hear or see those rapids coming up just on the edge there. So got to get back to it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one.